Welcome to Blood in the Snow Radio, where we give you the latest news and interviews with the best in Canadian genre cinema. Here are your hosts, Robert Bellamy and Festival Director Kelly Michael Stewart.
Bits Radio is back on the air. I am one of the co-hosts, Rob Bellamy.
And I'm Kelly Michael Stewart.
Yes, and we are here with a filmmaker from the short film Cancer SZN.
Yes.
We'll get you to introduce yourself and your role.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Zach Green. I wrote, directed, and edited Cancer SZN. Also, I guess, ended up producing because of the nature of indie film. But, yeah.
I was going to say, that's independent film. Yes.
Yeah.
So what is a rough synopsis of your project?
Yeah, so Cancer SZN's a queer, surreal, psychological body swap film. And it's about a girl who's a kind of modern witch named Patty, and she has this suffocating obsession for an old best friend. And after learning that this friend has a new partner, she decides to tie herself to her bed and cast a body swapping spell on this friend to be in the relationship of her dreams for the day, which goes, very well for her as it should.
As people do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What brought about the idea for this story?
Yeah. I guess like growing up queer in the prairies, I think it's like a common queer experience to like realize you're queer, and then you realize you're in love with your best friend, and then you're like, damn, I feel crazy. So I kind of it felt like I was exercising a demon, or like remembering this like younger part of me that was very obsessive over things I couldn't have. So it was kind of a swan song to that era, and now I don't do that anymore.
Well, it's got a throwback to Freaky Friday, the whole body swap thing. I always love those kind of stories because it allows people to walk in other people's shoes.
Absolutely,
You know?
yeah.
And it's especially cool in this kind of situation where you get that obsessive person,
Totally. It was a great conduit for exploring those themes of wanting to be someone else in order to like get the love you think you want, but you need to learn how to live in your own body and
the grass is always greener.
Be your own self. Yeah.
So how hard was it to put this project together? Because it's got a good story, and the actors were great. Like
totally, yeah. So like I'm based in Montreal now, and then when I was writing it, I had moved to Toronto, and I'm originally from Calgary. So I was in a MFA program for screenwriting at TMU, and we had like a little seminar to just like write kind of a side project that wasn't my thesis project, and I really wanted to make something with my friends in Calgary. So I came up with this idea and got a couple grants together with these friends back home that I really trusted, and met a lot of them at NUTV, which is like the campus TV station at the University of Calgary. So had a lot of people that I really trusted and wanted to make something with proper funding behind. And then, it was a lot of trust plus funding.
You're kind of in a unique situation, I realize, because of the film, because you've been in three different worlds for the film industry of Calgary, Montreal, and Toronto, kind of like that too. So like,
totally,
how is that? How is that compared like that too? Like for the scenes and
it's
support
it's given me good perspective. Like I definitely. I feel like I haven't quite let go of Calgary still because it is my home, and I was living in Toronto when I made this film.
Right.
So now that I've like played at festivals, I feel like as soon as I moved out of Toronto, I was like, oh, now I know a bunch of cool film people in Toronto, and I haven't really immersed myself in the scene as much as I would like here. Yeah. And after making Cancer SZN, I want to go back to Calgary and make a film there, but I like living in Toronto and Montreal and like bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
Montreal I'm still getting to know, but I like the scene there. Like from what I've seen, I like that it's a little bit more. I like that Toronto is kind of focused on commercial and pushes you to kind of think about how you can sell your project, but I also love how Montreal is super DIY and super like people just are so creative in I guess a different way that I'm excited to immerse myself in a little more. I moved there in June, so
right. So you're still kind of getting for you because it is very much all three places such different vibes and stuff like that. The scene is so different, and I think probably because like Quebec has its own film industry kind of like that, whereas we're trying to compete with the American market and Ontario and stuff like that, and then Calgary's more emerging, thing like that.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see how Montreal treats me like as an emerging filmmaker too, because
Right.
I feel like it is a place where a lot of people are just kind of working on their own crafts and trying to make it work. Whereas Toronto, I don't know, it's more expensive too, so it's harder to
It is that.
focus like that in the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned this was a side project from your thesis. Does this mean you have other project you're working on right now that's going to be like a bigger scope?
Yeah. So I wrote my first feature I did my master's at TMU in screenwriting, and I wrote a feature during that, and my supervisor was Adam Agoyan, which was pretty cool. And then when I finished that program, a friend of mine, Kevin Dong, who's a Calgarian producer, did the CFC program and was like, I need a feature to make development materials for. I know you have a feature, and then ended up getting us some development funding from Telefilm for me to rewrite the feature. So basically wrote this feature, put all my energy into Cancer SZN. Cancer SZN is done now, so I've shifted back into rewriting this project and like really throwing it at the wall and like putting it back together in a way that, honestly, it's been a hellish process outside of this like the more regulated MFA program, but we're close. And that film's called Bizarre Love Triangle, and it kind of. Do you want me to tell you what it's about? Yeah.
Right.
It's like kind of continuing on this kind of body concept, but it's about this queer vagabond who has a passionate one-night stand with this closeted bartender, and then wakes up and the bartender's dead wife has possessed his body, and she does not want to be with her husband anymore, and he's in love with her husband, so they have kind of it's a love story between these two people sharing one body and deciding.
Massive internal conflict.
Exactly, yeah. And this one's called Bizarre Love Triangle, so I don't know what my compulsion is with people not staying in their own bodies and having love triangles, but that's
when you got a thing.
That's my thing for now. Yeah.
Was that hard to film? To show who's in whose body at any given moment?
It was, and it was like harder, especially when I was editing, because everyone involved kind of knows the premise, like we know what's going on, and I wanted it to feel kind of intuitive rather than over-explaining, like, now I'm going to swap into her body. So I had to show it to a lot of people for the first time to make sure they weren't too confused, but not that it wasn't too obvious at the same time. And sometimes at first people were like, oh, I didn't realize it was a body swap movie till the end. And I was like, oh, it wasn't intended to be a twist. So I kind of needed to fine tune it in that way to make sure it was just clear enough, but not like overly too much exposition, I guess.
Yeah, and that was the thing that I got from it too. Like about 2 minutes into it, you realized, that would have been cool as a twist, though.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, that is a cool experience, but does it keep people too confused for
it's
too
not
long?
the story that you're going for.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there much changing going on from what you visioned to what you finally produced?
Oh yeah, a lot. Like it was, and a lot in a good way. Like the art department made this amazing collage on the wall that I kind of just let them do their own thing, and then that ended up being like a really big part of certain beats of the film and the kind of creating atmosphere. So there was a lot of kind of like almost improv elements during production, and because I knew I was editing it too, I was like, oh, like I know we have a beat here we need to hit, and I had ideas that didn't really feel right, and then in the moment I was like, oh, let's just get a bunch of B-roll of this wall and have her look at the wall, and like just things kind of flowed in a nice way. And then in post, it definitely felt like I was like rewriting the film, and the tone changed. Like I thought it was going to be more of a dark comedy, but it ended up having a somber tone, so which I'm happy with.
Was it hard directing with the editor in the back of your head?
I found it helpful, honestly, because I think for the sake of being a better director technically, it would be good for me to not edit my next film so I can know we're getting enough coverage, but it was helpful because my script supervisor would be like, oh, you should get a shot like this so that the editor has something to work with, and I'd be like, oh no, I see it. I know that I can do it. So it made it easier for me, and it was kind of fun because it felt like I was continuing to write, but in motion with all this, I don't know, chaos around me.
I guess if you have that vision at the end, what you already want, it's just I know sometimes you can trap yourself. If you're editing in your head while you're directing, you film what you need.
Totally.
And you get to the editing room and it's like, oh crap, wish I had this.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It was, there was a bit of that, but it was kind of nice too, because there's ways I'd imagined the script. And then when we were shooting, I was like, oh, we can actually imagine it a different way. Or we don't need this shot of her walking all the way down the hall that I thought we needed, or we could just cut. Yeah. Like, things definitely changed.
So next time you said, though, it's just going to be directing or
I think
editing?
I need someone else actively part of the editing process. Like, there was a point where I started to, lose objectivity, or like I had an idea, but I didn't have the energy to do the intricate cutting. Like, I would have loved to just lie there, explain the rhythm of this idea I had to an editor, let them do it, and then see how it went. But I love editing. Editing is what I wish writing felt like. So it is a little hard to let go.
I get that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting look on it, too. But it can be addictive when you start editing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's such a flow state because you have like tangible matter to work with that actually has a rhythm, whereas when I'm writing, it's a little bit more intangible.
And it's really where a story comes together, is in the editing.
Totally. Yeah.
So that's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the film.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I can't wait to see it. Has it played yet?
It'll be playing in Emerging Screams on Saturday.
Saturday, perfect.
No, can't wait. Thank you for having me. This was
Thank
lovely.
you.
Join us next time for Blood in the Snow Radio. Bits Radio is a production of Three Evil Cats Productions in association with the Blood in the Snow Canadian Film Festival. For more information and to listen to other episodes, visit bloodinthesnow.ca and tweet us at BitsFilmFest. Music by Jan Gorman, produced and edited by Kelly Michael Stewart. I am Eduardo Correa Lima.